Hello students, welcome back to Zoology online class. Today we are going to discuss about structural organization of animals, lesson number 13. Under that we are going to discuss external morphology of leech and structural features of different organ systems. So listen carefully. The Indian cattle leech. Common name is Indian cattle leech and the scientific name is Hirudinaria granulosa. Hirudinaria granulosa. Taxonomic position of Hirudinaria granulosa. It belongs to the phylum Annelida, class Hirudinea, order Naphtobellida, genus Hirudinaria and the species Granulosa. Phylum Annelida, class Hirudinea, order Naphtobellida, genus Hirudinaria and the species Granulosa. So the scientific name is Hirudinaria granulosa. Hirudinaria granulosa. Okay, the next one, habit and habitat of leech. This Hirudinaria granulosa is found in India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Myanmar and Sri Lanka. So these are the areas this leech is available. India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Myanmar and Sri Lanka. It lives in freshwater ponds, lakes, swamps and slow streams. So it can live only in the freshwater. Okay, freshwater. They are ectoparasitic and feed on the blood of fishes, frogs, cattle and human. So these leeches are ectoparasites. You know endoparasite and ectoparasite. Endoparasite means they are present inside of the body. So that is known as endoparasite. These ecto means what? It is present outside of the body. You know head louse, mosquitoes. So these are ectoparasite present outside of the body. So this leech is also ectoparasite. And it feeds on the blood of fishes, frogs, cattle and human. It can suck only the blood. The food is only blood. Okay. It is sanguivorous in nature. Sanguivorous means blood sucking habit. You know the herbivorous animals. Herbivorous means it can example a goat, cow. So these are the animals eat only grasses. So that is known as herbivores. This leech is known as sanguivorous. Sanguivorous means what? Blood sucking animals. Blood sucking nature. Okay, so next one is external morphology of leech. External morphology, appearance. Okay, so first one, shape and size. Shape and size. The body of leech is soft. So this is the structure of leech. Okay, so the body of leech is very soft. Vermiform. Vermiform meaning worm-like structure, elongated and segmented. Okay, so body is soft, vermiform, elongated and segmented. It becomes ribbon-shaped when extended and almost cylindrical when contracted. So when the worm is extended, it looks like a ribbon-shaped structure, and when it is contracted, it looks like cylindrical in structure. Okay, then it may grow to a length of 35 centimeter. It can grow as a length of 35 centimeter. The next one, coloration. Color. Dorsal surface is olive green in color and the ventral surface is orange yellow or orange red in color. Dorsal. So this is the dorsal view, dorsal surface. So this dorsal surface is olive green in color. Okay, dorsal surface is olive green in color and the ventral surface is orange yellow or orange red in color. This is a ventral surface. This ventral surface is orange yellow or orange red in color. Okay. The next one, segmentation. Third external morphology is segmentation. Metamerism is the segmentation of the body. Metamerism is the segmentation of the body. This metamerism means linear series of repeating parts. Metamerism meaning linear series of repeating parts. That is the arrangement. Okay. The body of leech is metamerically divided into 33 segments. So the body is divided into 33 segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So like that totally 33 segments are present. The segments are arranged one behind the other. Okay, first segment, second, third, fourth. So it is arranged one behind other. Each segment is further superficially subdivided into rings or annuli. So this is the first segment, is it? So this segment again subdivided into rings or annuli inside. Okay, rings or annuli. A temporary clitellum is formed on segments 9 to 11. Clitellum is formed. Clitellum meaning it is a thickened glandular section of the body wall. Thick region. Okay, that is known as clitellum. So where it is present? Segments 9 to 11th segment. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, like that. So 9 to 11 segments. So that region is known as clitellum, which is meant to produce a cocoon during the breeding season. So it produces the cocoon during the breeding season. So in that region only produce the cocoon during the breeding season. The next one is receptors. On the dorsal side, there are 5 pairs of eyes on the first 5 segments. Receptors, that is the eye. Okay. So dorsal side, first there are 5 pairs of eyes are present. How many pairs of eyes? 5 pairs of eyes are present in the dorsal side. In the first 5 segments, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each segment, 1 pair of eyes are present. Okay, totally 5 pairs. Each segment bears a number of sensory projections called receptors. So sensory projection. That receptors are known as what? Sensory projections. That sensory projections are called receptors. So where it is located? First 5 segments. Annular receptors are located in each annulus, and segmental receptors are located on the first annulus of each segment. So 2 types of receptors, annular receptors and the segmental receptors. What are the 2 types of receptors? Annular receptors and the segmental receptors. So these annular receptors are located in each annulus. So first segment 1 annulus, second segment, like that. So it is these annular receptors are located in each annulus, and the segmental receptors are located on the first annulus of each segment. So segmental receptors, it is located in the first annulus of the each segment. So in each segment is divided into rings or annulus. You know, is it? So the annular receptors are present in the annulus, any one of the annulus, and the segmental receptors are located on the first annulus of each segment. Clear, children? So next one is suckers. A leech has 2 suckers. Okay, leech has 2 suckers. What are the 2 suckers? Posterior sucker and the anterior sucker. This is the posterior sucker and this is the anterior sucker. This is a dorsal view. This is a ventral view. Okay, so this area is the in this area posterior sucker is present, and top region anterior sucker is present. So 2 suckers are present. Okay, so anterior sucker is known as the anterior sucker and the posterior sucker is known as posterior sucker. Okay, the sucker located at the anterior end is called anterior sucker or oral sucker. Anterior sucker, one more name is oral sucker, that is a mouth region. It is so that anterior sucker occupy the first 5 segments. So anterior sucker is occupying the first 5 segments. The posterior sucker is formed by the fusion of last 7 segments. The posterior sucker is situated in the last 7 segments. The anterior sucker helps in feeding. So this is anterior sucker, is it? Mouth, anterior sucker. So it is used for feeding, while both the suckers helps in attachment and locomotion. So both the suckers are useful for locomotion, movement as well as attachment, but the anterior sucker one more function, that is feeding. Okay, anterior sucker has 2 functions, locomotion as well as attachment. Then another one is what? Feeding. But the posterior sucker only for attachment and locomotion. Have you got it, children? Okay. External apertures. External means what? Outside. Okay, outside. So outside openings. Aperture meaning opening. So outside openings. Number 1, first one is mouth. That is the first aperture. It is located in the middle of anterior sucker. So this mouth is located in the middle of anterior sucker. So anterior sucker is located in the first 5 segments. So middle of the anterior sucker, the mouth is present. Second external aperture is anus. Anus is a small aperture that opens on the mid-dorsal side of 26th segment. So totally 33 segments are present, but in this anus is located in the 26th segment, mid-dorsal side of 26th segment. Third one, nephrodiopores. Nephrodiopores, that is a excretory organ. Nephridia open to the exterior by 17 pairs of nephrodiopores. So totally 17 pairs of nephrodiopores are present. They lie ventrally on the last annulus of each segment from 6 to 22. So they lie ventral side. It is present in the ventral side on the last annulus of each segment from 6 to 22 segments. The fourth one is male genital pore. So male genital organ, male openings. It is a mid-ventral opening situated between second and third annuli of 10th segment. So this male genital pore is present in the 10th segment. Okay. The next one, female genital pore. It lies mid-ventrally between second and third annuli of 11th segment. So female genital pore is located in the 11th segment, but the male genital pore is located in the 10th segment. Right? Okay. So external apertures, mouth. First one mouth, second one anus, third one nephrodiopores, the fourth one male genital pore, fifth one female genital pore. So these are the 5 external apertures. The next one, divisions of the body. Divisions of the body. The body of leech is divided into 6 regions. The body of leech is divided into how many regions? 6 regions. So they are cephalic region, preclitellar region, clitellar region, middle region, caudal region and posterior sucker. So let's see the segments. The cephalic region is located in the first to 5th segment. So cephalic region is located in first to 5th segments. Then preclitellar region. Clitellar, already I told, clitellar means what? That is the thickened area. So preclitellar region. So that is located in the 6th, 7th and 8th segment. Then clitellar region. Clitellar, that is a thickened area. So that is located in the 9th, 10th and 11th segments. Then middle region, that is 12th to 22nd. 12th to 22nd, that is known as middle region. Then caudal region, 23rd to 26th region is caudal region. Posterior sucker, 27th to 33rd. 27th to 33rd. So these are the divisions of the body. So 6 regions are present. The segments also given here. The next one, body wall. Body wall of leech. The body wall of leech includes 5 layers. The body wall outside. Okay, so 5 layers are present. So first layer is known as cuticle layer. That is the outermost layer. Cuticle is the outermost layer. In our body, skin is the outer covering. Is it? So like that, this leeches has, body wall of leeches has 5 layers. So first layer is known as cuticle, that is outermost layer. Second layer is known as epidermis. Second layer is the epidermis layer. This layer lies below the cuticle. So below the cuticle, this epidermis is present. Then third one is dermis, which lies below the epidermis and form the connective tissue. So first one cuticle, below that epidermis, below that dermis. Then fourth one is muscular layer. Fourth layer is the muscular layer. Then fifth one is the botryoidal tissue. So these are the 5 layers. What are the 5 layers? Cuticle layer, epidermis layer, dermis, muscular layer, botryoidal tissue. These are the 5 layers are present in the body of leech. The next one is locomotion. Locomotion meaning movement. Okay, moving from place to place. That is a locomotion. Locomotion in leech takes place by 2 types. 2 types of movements are present in leech. The first movement is, or first locomotion is looping or crawling movement. Looping or crawling movement. That is the first one. Okay, looping movement or crawling movement. The 2 suckers used for attachment during movement on the substratum. Moving for the movement, the suckers are useful. Anterior sucker and the posterior sucker, both the suckers are useful for the looping movement. Okay, moving time. Then second one is swimming movement. Already I told it is it can lives in the fresh water. Okay, so it can swim. Leeches swim very actively and perform undulating movement in water. So inside the water it can swim very fast, as well as undulating means what? Wave like movement. Okay, like that also it can move, that or we can say that is a swimming. Okay, swimming movement, or that is a undulating movements, like a wave like movement. Okay, so locomotion, two types. One is a looping or crawling movement, that is with the help of suckers, anterior sucker and the posterior sucker. Second one, swimming movement. So only in the water it can swim. So these are the two types of locomotion. Digestive system of leech. Digestive system. The digestive system includes the long alimentary canal and the digestive glands. So digestive system includes the long alimentary canal and the digestive glands. So first let's see alimentary canal. Alimentary canal. The alimentary canal of leech is a straight tube running from the mouth to the anus. So this alimentary canal, that is a straight tube running from the mouth to the anus. This is the mouth region, anterior region. This is the posterior region. Posterior region, anus is located. Okay, so it is a straight tube running from the mouth to the anus. Mouth is a triradiate aperture. Aperture, you know, that is the opening. Okay, hole. So triradiate aperture means three holes are present. Mouth is a triradiate aperture situated in the middle of the anterior sucker that leads into the small buccal cavity. So where it is, this mouth is a triradiate aperture, and where it is located? Anterior, middle of the anterior sucker. Middle of the anterior sucker this mouth is located. The wall of the buccal cavity bears three jaws with a single row of minute teeth. So the wall of the buccal cavity, okay, the buccal cavity has three jaws. Okay, three jaws are present in the buccal cavity, as well as minute teeth also present. Minute teeth, single row of minute teeth also present in the what? Buccal cavity. Okay, buccal cavity bears three jaws with a single row of minute teeth. Just when we are seeing, we cannot find out easily. Okay, the jaws are provided with papillae which bear the openings of salivary glands. This jaws provided with the papillae, that is a hair-like structure, papillae which bear the openings of salivary glands. Mouth and buccal cavity occupy the first 5 segments. Mouth and buccal cavity, it can occupy first 5 segments till this 1 2 3 4 5 till this it can occupy, mouth and the buccal cavity. Okay, this is the papillae. Then the buccal cavity leads into the muscular pharynx. So this buccal cavity leads into the muscular pharynx. It is surrounded by salivary glands. This buccal cavity is surrounded by salivary glands. The secretion of saliva contains hirudin, which prevents the coagulation of blood. So the saliva, the secretion of saliva, the salivary gland produce saliva. Okay, it can secrete saliva. This saliva contains hirudin, that is a substance, hirudin. Okay, the saliva contains hirudin. What's the use of this hirudin? It prevents the coagulation of blood. Okay, it prevents the clotting of blood. Pharynx leads into the crop through a short and narrow esophagus. Okay, this pharynx leads into the crop, this is a crop region, leads into the crop through a short narrow esophagus. Okay, through a short narrow esophagus. Understand, children? Pharynx, this is the pharynx region. It leads into the crop. These are the crop regions through a short and narrow esophagus. Short and narrow esophagus, this region. Okay, yes. Then crop is the largest portion of the alimentary canal. So which is the largest portion of the alimentary canal? Crop is the largest portion. So these are the chambers of the crop. Okay, this region, this one, this one, this one. So these are crop. Okay, chambers, that is the largest portion of the alimentary canal. It is divided into series of 10 chambers. So totally 10 chambers are present. Okay, the crop is, that is the largest chamber, largest portion of the alimentary canal. The crop is divided into 10 chambers. First chamber, second chamber, third, fourth, fifth, seventh, like that. Totally 10 chambers are present. The chambers communicate with one another through circular apertures surrounded by sphincters. Okay. The chambers, the crop chambers communicate with one another through the aperture. Okay, circular aperture, that is known as what? Sphincters. Circular apertures are known as sphincters. Then a pair of lateral backwardly directed cecae arises as blind outgrowth from each chamber known as ceca or diverticula. Okay, ceca or diverticula. See, this is a chamber region. So near to the chamber region, okay, which one is the one outgrowth arises? That outgrowth is known as what? Diverticula. Crop and its diverticula can store large amount of blood which can be slowly digested. So when the leech is sucking the blood, through that it can enter, and where it can store into the chambers, the crop region as well as diverticular region. Understand, children? Okay, so the blood is stored into the leeches stores blood into the crop chambers as well as the diverticular region. Okay, after that slowly it can be digested. The last chamber of crop opens into the stomach. So last chamber, this is the 10th chamber. Okay, last chamber. So where it can open? It can opens into the stomach region. Okay, last chamber of crop opens into stomach. The stomach leads into intestine. Okay, the stomach leads into intestine. Have you got it, children? Which is a small straight tube that opens into rectum. So that intestine opens into rectum region. The rectum opens into the exterior by anus. Okay, the rectum opens into anus. Understand? So the food means that is a blood. The blood can stores into the crop chambers as well as diverticular region. So that crops opens into the stomach region. Last chamber, 10th chamber opens into the stomach region, stomach area. Okay, the stomach leads into intestine. That is a which is a small straight tube. Is there? Then that tube opens into rectum. The rectum opens to the exterior by anus. Food, feeding and digestion. The leech feeds by sucking the blood of cattle and other domestic animals. Already I told leech can suck the blood from the cattle, domestic animals, fishes or human beings. During feeding, the leech attaches itself to its victim strongly by the posterior sucker. So with the help of the posterior sucker only, it can attach strongly to its victim. Victim means that is a host. Okay, living organism, maybe cattle or domestic animals. The leech makes as a triradiate or Y-shaped incision in the skin of the host by the jaws protruded through the mouth. So already I told the mouth is the triradiate aperture. 3 holes are present. Okay, so when it is biting, it can produce a Y-shaped wound. Okay, it can produce the Y-shaped wound. Why? 3 holes are present in the mouth, so that the blood is sucked by muscular pharynx and the salivary secretion is poured. So with the help of the muscular pharynx, it can suck the blood. At that time, it can secrete saliva. Okay, saliva also poured in the particular area. Okay, in which place it is sucking the blood. The ingested blood is stored in crop chambers and its diverticulum. So after sucking the blood can enter through this area, and where it can reach into the crop region. Okay, this area is a crop. So the crop has 10 chambers. So the blood can stored into the 10 chambers as well as the diverticular areas also. This is a diverticular area. Okay, crop chambers as well as the diverticulum region, the blood is stored. the blood passes from the crop into the stomach. So after that, after sucking from this region, it can enters into the stomach region. Okay, it can enters into the stomach region. Digestion takes place in stomach by the action of proteolytic enzyme. So in which region digestion takes place? Digestion takes place inside the stomach region with the help of proteolytic enzyme. The digested blood is then absorbed slowly by the intestine. So after the digestion, the digested blood is absorbed, slowly absorbed by the intestine. Undigested food is stored in rectum and digested through the anus. So undigested food is stored into the rectum, this region, and later it can digested through anus, eliminated through the anus region, right? Then leeches prevent blood clotting by secreting a protein called hirudin. So when it is biting, it can produce one protein. Okay, it can secrete one protein that is known as hirudin. So with the help of this hirudin, because of this hirudin, the blood cannot clot. If it is clotting, the leech cannot suck the blood. So it can pour or it can secrete the hirudin. So blood cannot clot. It can prevent the blood clotting. And one more thing, during sucking the blood, they also inject, this leech can inject one anesthetic substance. Okay, anesthetic substance. Why it can injecting the anesthetic substance? When it is injecting this anesthetic substance, the particular organism, maybe that is a human beings or fishes or cattle, whatever it may be. Okay, so the particular organism cannot feel any pain. Okay, because of this anesthetic substance, the particular person or particular organism cannot feel any pain. That's why it can secrete the anesthetic substance. Okay, so this is food, feeding and digestion. The next one is segmentation of leech. External and internal features, segments in which the structures are present. So body segments, totally 33 segments are present already. First itself we have seen. Then this anterior sucker, mouth and eyes. So these are the organs located in the first to fifth segment. Anterior sucker, mouth and eyes are located in the first to fifth segment. Posterior sucker, 27th to 33rd, last. Okay, then pharynx, 5th to 8th segment. Okay, pharynx is located in the 5th to 8th segment. Crop, 9th to 18th segment. Stomach, 19th segment. Intestine, 10th to 22nd segment. Rectum, 23rd to 26th segment. Anus, 26th segment. Nephridiopause, 6th to 22nd segment. Male genital aperture, 10th segment. Female genital aperture, 11th segment. Respiratory system of leech. Respiration takes place through the skin in leech. So in human beings, through the lungs respiration takes place, but in leech, through the skin respiration takes place. Dense network of tiny blood vessels called capillaries. The tiny blood vessels are known as what? Capillaries. The capillaries containing hemolytic fluid. Okay, the dense network of blood vessels are present. So that blood vessels are known as capillaries. These capillaries contain hemolytic fluid. Capillaries contain which fluid? Hemolytic fluid. That fluid extends in between the cells of the epidermis. The hemolytic fluid extends in between the cells of the epidermis, the skin region. The exchange of respiratory gases takes place by diffusion. So the exchange of gases. So how the exchange of gases takes place? Through by the diffusion method, the exchange of respiratory gases takes place. So the oxygen is dissolved in water. So the leeches are present in the water maximum. Okay, so the oxygen dissolved in the water. So that oxygen diffuses through the skin into the hemolytic fluid. So through the diffusion method, the dissolved oxygen enters into the skin region and enters into the hemolytic fluid, while carbon dioxide diffuses out. Okay, only the oxygen is essential. So oxygen enters inside as well as the carbon dioxide diffuses outside. The skin is kept moist and slimy due to secretion of mucus, which also prevents it from drying. So the surface, the body surface, okay, the body surface, the skin is always moist and slimy. Why it is moist and slimy? Because of the secretion. It can secrete one mucus, that secretion. Okay, why it prevents the surface, outer surface from drying. Okay, so that it can produce the secretion, that is a mucus. The next one, circulatory system. In leech, circulation is brought about by hemocylic system. Okay, the circulation brought about by hemocylic system. There are no true blood vessels. Okay, there are no true blood vessels. In our body, we have lot of blood vessels. Okay, arteries, veins, capillaries, like that. So many blood vessels are present. But in leech, there is no true blood vessels. Okay, so it is known as what? Hemocylic system. The blood vessels are replaced by channels called hemocylic channels or canals. Okay, the blood vessels are replaced by channels. The channels are known as hemocylic channels or canals that is filled with blood-like fluid. Okay, the hemocylic channels are filled with blood-like fluid. The coelomic fluid contains hemoglobin. But the fluid contains hemoglobin. Okay, what's the use of the hemoglobin? It gives a red color. Okay, it is a pigment. It gives red color. Then there are 4 longitudinal channels. One channel lies above the alimentary canal. So how many channels are present? Hemocylic channels, 4 hemocylic channels. So 4 longitudinal channels are present. One lies above the alimentary canal. Okay, one lies above the alimentary canal, and next one below the alimentary canal. Okay, above the alimentary canal, below the alimentary canal. Then other 2 on either side of the alimentary canal. Okay, above the alimentary canal, below the alimentary canal, and either side of the alimentary canal. So 4 longitudinal channels are present. Okay, which serve as heart and have inner valves. So these channels serve like a heart as well as inner valves. All the 4 channels are connected together posteriorly in the 26th segment. So all the channels, 4 channels are connected in which region? 26th segment. The next one is nervous system. Okay, nervous system. The central nervous system of leech consists of a nerve ring and a paired ventral nerve cord. Okay, the central nervous system of leech consists of nerve ring and the paired ventral nerve cord. Okay, ventral nerve cord, paired ventral nerve cord. This is okay, paired. Then another one is the nerve ring. The nerve ring surrounds the pharynx and is formed of pharyngeal ganglion. So the nerve ring surrounds the pharynx region. Pharynx region, first 5 region. Okay, that is the that first 5 regions the pharynx is located. So that nerve ring surrounds the pharynx and it is formed of superpharyngeal ganglion. That is a brain. That is formed of superpharyngeal ganglion. That is a brain. Then circumpharyngeal connective, second one, and the subpharyngeal ganglion. Okay, so the nerve ring, it is located in the first 5 segment. It is formed of suprapharyngeal ganglion, that is the brain, and the circumpharyngeal connective and the subpharyngeal ganglion. Okay. Then the subpharyngeal ganglion lies below the pharynx and is formed by the fusion of 4 pairs of ganglia. Okay, subpharyngeal ganglion, where it is present? Below the pharynx. Okay, below the pharynx, nearly 5th segment. Okay, so in that region it is present, and that one formed by the fusion of 4 pairs of ganglia. 4 pairs of ganglia. This region, that is known as what? Ganglia. Okay, singular ganglia and a plural ganglion. Singular ganglion, plural ganglion. Okay, so 4 pairs of ganglia. So that is which one? Subpharyngeal ganglion. It is located below the pharynx and it is formed by the fusion of 4 pairs of ganglia, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 pairs of ganglia. The next one is excretory system. Excretory system of leech. In leech, excretion takes place by segmentally arranged paired tubules called nephridia. So excretion takes place by the nephridia. Okay, there are 17 pairs of nephridia which open out by the nephrodiopores from 6th to 20 segments. Okay, so how many pairs of nephridia are present? 17 pairs. So it can open out by the nephrodiopores. In which region it can open 6th to 22nd segments. So totally 17 pairs of nephridia are present. It can open out by the nephrodiopores from 6th to 22nd segments. Reproductive system of leech. Leech is hermaphrodite because both the male and female reproductive organs are present in the same animal. Leech is a hermaphrodite. What's the meaning of hermaphrodite? That means the female reproductive organ as well as male reproductive organs are present in the same animal. That is known as hermaphrodite. Okay, the first let's see male reproductive system. There are 11 pairs of testes, one pair in each segment from 12 to 22 segments. So how many pairs of testes are present? 11 pairs of testes are present, one pair in each segment from 12 to 22 segments. So it is present in 12 to 22 segments. They are in the form of spherical sacs called testes sacs. Okay, so it is in the form of sac, spherical sac, that is known as what? Testes sac. Understand children? Testes sac. See here, testes sac. That is a spherical shape. Okay, it's spherical shape. So how many pairs of testes are present? How many pairs? 11 pairs of testes. 1, 2, 3 like that. Okay, totally 11 pairs of testes are present in 12 to 22 segments. So it looks like a sac, like spherical sac. So that is known as testis sac. From each testis arises a short duct called vas deferens. So from each testis a duct arises. That duct is known as what? Vas deferens. From each testis one duct, one tube-like structure arises, that is known as vas deferens. The vas deferens becomes convoluted to form the epididymis or sperm vesicle to store spermatozoa. Understand? So epididymis means what? That is a pouch-like structure, or we can say that is a sperm vesicle. It can store the spermatozoa. Okay, so the vas deferens, that is a tube-like structure. The vas deferens convoluted and form that epididymis. Okay, epididymis or epididymis. We can both the pronunciation is correct. Okay, so the epididymis store the spermatozoa or sperm. The epididymis leads to a short duct called ejaculatory duct. So another one duct, that is a ejaculatory duct. So that it leads to the short duct. Okay, the epididymis leads to the short duct. That short duct is known as what? Ejaculatory duct. The ejaculatory ducts on both the sides to join. Both the sides join to form the genital atrium. Okay, genital atrium. So both the side of the ejaculatory duct. Okay, so where is the ejaculatory duct? This is the epididymis. So epididymis leads to a short duct, that is known as what? Ejaculatory duct. The ejaculatory ducts on both the sides to form the genital atrium. This is the genital atrium, both the sides ejaculatory duct. Here that is a genital atrium. The atrium consists of two regions, the coiled prostate glands and the pineal sac consisting of penis that opens through the male genital pore. Okay, the atrium consists of how many regions? Two regions. One is coiled prostate gland. So first one is the coiled prostate gland. In this region only it is located. Okay, prostate gland and the Pineal sac consisting of penis. Second one is the penis. That penis opens through the male genital port. That is penis is a through that only what? The sperms can ejaculate. Okay, so the penis open into the male genital pore. So this is the structure of male reproductive system. So how many pairs of testes are present? 11 pairs. It can occupied in the 12 to 22 segment. So the sac-like spherical sacs are known as testis sacs. And then ejaculate, that was difference. Then after that, what? Epididymis or sperm vesicle, it can store the spermatozoa. Then ejaculatory duct, then genital atrium. In the genital atrium, two regions are present. One is the prostate gland and another one is the penis. So that penis opens into the male genital pore. Okay, these are the words how to remember. The next one is the female reproductive system. So both the reproductive organs are present in the same organism itself. So that we can say that is the hermaphrodite. Okay. Then this female reproductive system consists of ovaries, oviducts and the vagina. So what are the three organs present in the female reproductive system? Ovaries, oviducts and vagina. There is a single pair of ovary in the 11th segment on the ventral side. So only one pair of ovaries present in the 11th segment. So only one pair, single pair or only one pair of ovaries present in the 11th segment. So where is that? Where are they located? Ovary. This is the ovary. Then vagina region. The next one what? Oviducts. Okay, so the three regions are present: oviducts, vagina and the ovary. Okay, single pair of ovary is present in the 11th segment. Each ovary is a coiled ribbon shaped structure. Okay, that ovary is a ribbon shaped structure, coiled ribbon shaped structure. Okay, by seeing itself we can find out. Then the ova are budded off from the ovary. So the ova is present in the ovary. Okay, from each ovary runs a short oviduct. So from the ovary one duct arises, that is the oviduct. The oviducts of the two sides joins together to form the common oviduct. Okay, so both the sides ducts are present. That ducts forms together and joined together and forms the common oviduct. The common oviduct opens into the pear-shaped vagina, which lies mid-ventrally in the posterior part of the 11th segment. So that oviduct, that tube, okay, oviduct enters into the vagina. Vagina is a pear-shaped structure. Okay, vagina is the pear-shaped structure, and that vagina opens into the 11th segment. Okay, vagina opens into the 11th segment. Understand, children? Yes. Okay, this is the female reproductive system. Anyway, both the reproductive systems are present in the same worm itself. Now, next one, development. Internal fertilization takes place. So, fertilization is are of two types. They are internal fertilization and the external fertilization. Both the differences, you know, I think. Okay, external means what? You know, frog. It can release the egg into the water itself, sperm also there. Then both the gametes meet together and the fertilization takes place. That is the external fertilization. Internal fertilization inside the body itself takes place. Okay, so here in the leech there is a internal fertilization takes place. This is followed by cocoon formation. Cocoon is also known as egg case. Okay, after the fertilization there is a cocoon formation. The cocoon is known as what? Egg case. We can say it as nest also. Like that also we can say. Okay. So inside the egg case or cocoon, embryos are present. Okay, inside the egg case or cocoon only embryos are present. Okay, then the egg case is formed around the 9th, 10th and 11th segments. So in which region this cocoon is cocoon formation takes place? In 9th, 10th and 11th segments. Okay, development is direct and proceeds in cocoon, which contain 1 to 24 embryos. So inside of the cocoon 24 embryos are present, 24, 23. Okay, like that, 1 to 24, sometimes 15 or 20, like that. Anyway, inside of the cocoon 1 to 24 embryos are present. Young leech resembling the adult emerges. Okay, so young leech resembling the adult emerges. So this is development. So internal fertilization, then cocoon formation, then what? 1 to 24 embryos are present. The last young leech resembling the adult emerges. The next one is parasitic adaptations of leech. Parasitic adaptations of leech. So here 6 points are given. Have to learn only the points. Blood is sucked by pharynx. Okay, so with the help of the pharynx only, the worm leech can suck the blood from the organisms. Anterior and posterior ends of the body are provided with suckers by which the animal attaches itself to the body of the host. So with the help of the anterior and posterior sucker only, it can attaches itself to the body of the host. Then the 3 jaws inside the mouth causes a painless Y-shaped wound in the skin of the host. So the mouth is a triradiate aperture, 3 holes are present. So when the leech is sucking into the host, the particular organism can get the Y-shaped wound. Why? 3 holes are present in the mouth. So Y-shaped wound, the particular organism, maybe that is a cattle or human being or fishes, can get. Then fourth one, the salivary glands produce hirudin. Okay, salivary glands produce hirudin, which does not allow the blood to coagulate. It prevents the clotting of blood. The hirudin prevents the clotting of blood. Thus, a continuous supply of the blood is maintained. So, continuously the leech can suck the blood from the host. Parapodia and setae are completely absent. Okay, there is no parapodia or there is no setae. Okay, blood is stored in the crop. So in which region blood is stored? In the crop. Okay, inside the crop has 10 chambers. So inside the crop, the chambers as well as the diverticular region, the blood is stored. It gives nourishment to the leech for several months. So the blood can stored into the crop region. So because of that, the worm, the leech, can get nourishment or food for long, several months, maybe 4 months or 5 months, like that. Several months it can get the food. Due to this reason, there is no elaborate secretion of the digestive juices and enzymes. Because of that, there is no digestive juices or digestive enzymes. Okay, why? The blood is stored in the crop. So because of that, it can get the nourishment for several months. So there is no well developed secretion, digestive juices or enzymes, whatever it may be. Okay, so today you have to learn this parasitic adaptations, 6 points. That answer have to learn and write it in the notebook, as well as the structure, reproductive system. That question also have to learn male reproductive system, female reproductive system. So that question as well as this parasitic adaptation. So these 2 questions today have to learn.